Welcome back, YouTube. We are here for Friday's Past the Prop episode, coming at you guys, talking some NBA college basketball. You know, we're not betting Pro Bowl. I even thought Stu would bet some Pro Bowl, but I'm not betting any Pro Bowl. So we'll be back next week talking Super Bowl stuff. As always, talking some NFL there. But join us always. Stu, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. Like you said, no reason to bet the Pro Bowl. I keep getting that. A lot of people keep asking me for stuff like that. Like, I've never really been big. I know I bet weird stuff, so maybe it gives that impression. But I'll look. If I find anything, you guys will all be the first to hear about it because, maybe we'll find some crazy long shot. That's normally where the value is, just some random market they don't know how to, price. But honestly, no one really watches the Pro Bowl anymore. I think I'm more interested in the dodgeball game than I am the flag football game. At least we get some funny moments from the dodgeball game. And guess what? You don't even need to watch it because all the funny stuff will just be posted on Twitter. So shout out to the Pro Bowl. You suck. I don't know why it's still we need to fix this. It shouldn't be this embarrassing. But it is. So, yeah, we're here talking NBA. We got a huge slate today. So let's make some money there instead of, flag football.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I watched a Pro Bowl, man. It's been a while. Even when they were trying, they would just, grab them. They won't even tackle them. It's just like grab them, wrap them up. Obviously, don't want anybody to get hurt. But, man, it's just tough for me to really want to watch that. It's tough to see. So, yeah, we have a huge slate tonight. I'm happy that we got a good one on our Friday show on the week that we don't have football. So it all really works out today. I think it's a 10-gamer. I'm only going to have one college basketball, but I'll have an NBA. I'm back in there. We're ready to go. I didn't bet any NBA last night on that 5-gamer. Who would have thought the Lakers with no AD LeBron end up pulling that one out? Did you have any bets in that game?
Yeah, I had Rui 15 points, which he clutched up for me at the end. I had Vanderbilt 2 steals, which he got, and then I had Pritchard 10 points, which he sold me at. Unfortunately, he stuck at 8. But I had a couple plus money spots. I didn't think it was going to be a close game, but I just love, the backup kind of games and stuff. So when it turned out, obviously, that the Lakers were leading by 10 plus the whole game, it was actually a very fun game. I definitely enjoyed it, seeing all the backups get to ball out a little bit.
Yeah, dude, I got out of work about 8 last night, 8:15. Go on my Sirius XM. First thing that pops up, Lakers up 18. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Austin and Reeves, I saw just cooking those boys. Man, that's not a good look. In the Garden, too, they probably took them way too lightly, man. I was very surprised, to say the least. Boston getting absolutely torched defensively. Like, none of those were even defended. It was pretty wild. And sure, Vegas made a killing having those Boston legs and those parlays getting smoked there.
Yeah, I saw in Pickett there were over 100,000 bets in that game, and I saw it was 81% was on Boston, either money line or spread, which is I don't blame you, but to me, I could never bet Boston in that game. When you look at that, if you've watched the NBA for long enough, this was a game that the Lakers were so obviously gonna cover. It's obviously easy to say that in hindsight, but the stars are ruled out. The spread moves double. It doubled. It went from 8 to 16 by closing. It freaking doubled without them. And we've actually seen the Lakers do this over the last couple of years where they have pretty good backups. They come in, they play pretty well. I didn't think they were going to win the fucking game, but I didn't think they were going to lose by 30. So I do appreciate them giving us some top tier entertainment on a primetime game on a terrible slate. Because if that game sucked, the night was just, there's going to be no basketball. So they gave us a pretty good one, cash some props. Hopefully we get a little bit better today, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know today's a tough slate. Just looking at the blowout opportunities, there's a lot of good games, though. That's what's nice about 10-gamer. There's probably 4 or 5 of these games that are just complete cross-offs. But then you go into some of these games are pretty fun spots, man. You look at, obviously, we're not looking at Orlando, Minnesota with a 200 total, bro. And then you go over to Indiana, and it's 250 against the Kings. And then you go to Phoenix. Both those games start at the same time. That's the sucky part, is both the best 2 games are coming at 6:30. Which one are you looking forward to most there, or do you have a different one?
Yeah, that's a good question. I did want to address, it's so funny that you said there's so many cross-off games, and you did list the 2 exact games that I'm betting in. Today, for me, I think it's probably just got to be the Suns Hawks, right? Hawks, fun as hell, young, they run at a fast pace. And then now we have the big three on the other side. He's obviously playing good basketball. We had Kevin Durant off the revenge game where he ended up cashing his tickets in that one. The revenge narratives went 1 for 2. Dame, I believe, fell short in that one, and KD went over. So that was kind of funny. You called it on the show. I wanted to bring that up. But yeah, for me, it'll be that Hawks. That'll be fun. Like, I don't see that much defense going down. I see a pretty high scoring game, a close one. I think that'll be one of the best TV games of the day.
Yeah, definitely agree. And I got so lucky with Anthony Simons hitting my points, rebounds, assists line because I'm like, all right, I can't bet Dame. I got to be on the other side against his friend. And so you end up cashing by the hook. First time I've gotten that in a while, dude. I've been just getting hooked on stuff. I haven't been cashing by the hook very often. But, yeah, it's tough to go against the narratives there with Indy and Sacramento too. I mean, you got pretty much, 6 dudes throughout this game that have played for the opposite team. Obviously, trading Halliburton because you got De'Aaron Fox. It's I'd be really surprised if Carlisle minute restricts heavy here against his old team, man. I feel like we've seen it for 3 games now, 2-3 games. Come on, let the man loose. He's back home as well. You get Indy to come in there. I kind of like the Sabonis stuff today, just because he's there. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a fun game, man. I'm sure they'll do like some of those like videos and shit for those guys because I mean, Sabonis was so fucking good over there. Just no one watched him because he was in Indiana. They never really won anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's going to be a super fun one. Narratives galore. So many people are going to have bets in that. I think for me, the biggest worry is Halliburton, like you said, the minutes restriction, and we're on a back-to-back, right? Like if we were just on regular days rest, then I'd probably be all in on Halliburton, to be honest. But the back-to-back, seeing what the props were yesterday, knowing that they've all increased now, is just a little bit scary. But obviously the matchup is definitely spectacular. I'm sure it's going to be such a bummer when all of gambling Twitter has so many like ladder bets in this game, and like Harrison Barnes is going to be the guy that hits like 6 threes. That's my crazy prediction of the day. He's going to play the spoiler for everyone. But no, that's going to be a really fun one. Anytime these two teams meet going forward is going to be, obviously with the trade stuff, is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, and I mean it's hard to mess around with a 248.5 total. Not just that, but 248.5 total and a close spread, right? That's the thing is, even in that Hawks game, that's why those two are so nice. Is it's a 3-point spread, 249 total, right? And then you look at some of these games, man. There's like 12. Your Wizards are not even the biggest dog on the card, man. We got the Pistons at 12. We got OKC 16 now. You go to the Warriors have been bet up because obviously Memphis is missing everything. I don't even know what their minutes are anymore. I think Vince Williams is one of their biggest dudes playing now. They just traded Steven Adams for an Oladipo who will never play.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then obviously Denver, Portland, late night in Denver, 13 point. Like, dude, come on. Like, that's so many games here tonight. Huge spreads.
Yeah. Are you part of the Jokic under system that a lot of people play, where they play the under points whenever they play a sub 500 team because he just doesn't care about scoring as much? I've seen that's a big thing. I was curious if you were hip to that.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't even know that. Maybe I'll just take triple-double every time he plays one of those shitty teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. For me, like, that logic is so, like, scary that I could never be part of that, of like, oh, look how bad the other team is. He clearly isn't going to care. Like, that's a kind of crazy, like, logical assumption. But, like, the trend stats are good on it. Like, against bad teams, Jokic is like, fuck it, you guys take care of business. And it does kind of line up with his personality. So maybe that's something to consider in tonight's night game. I mean, Aiden's actually trying these days. Who knows what's going to happen in that one.
Yeah, no, I have not heard about that one, but maybe I'll bet his triple-double tonight just for that. Probably betting it at like, plus 150 at this point. Jesus Christ. So, let's check out the chat here. We're 10 minutes in. We got Steve popping in here. Scott, welcome back in, guys. Yes, Shane, we did cash Right State on a hook. Should not have been a hook. That should have not been. They had I took the first half. It was like 78.5, and they scored like 90, and they only hit by one on the full game. So I always talk about first game full games, and the first half full game is crazy. This is actually going to be interesting. I will be talking about him shortly. But yeah, you got anything else to do? Any of those big dogs that you think are going to actually compete here tonight?
The thing is, a lot of people ask me about betting against the Wizards, and I'm all in. Like, if you know me, you know I'm not like a Homer fan. Like, I'm totally, but like they're kind of covering right now. You know what I mean? Like, and I kind of felt it against the Clippers game, and they fell up, a little bit short right there, but they gave them a pretty good game. The Heat, like everything in my heart says the Heat are kind of going to beat their ass, but like the Wizards have played them close over these last couple of years, even in some bad games. So I honestly don't hate that to cover. I don't think they're going to win outright. I'm curious how I would almost rather Poole doesn't play. Like I want Bilal in there playing defense for 30 minutes. Poole's been kind of rough, but I don't know. I think beyond that, the Grizzlies are another team. I just like these scrappy teams, man. If you're going to like the Wizards are playing defense now. That's what the Grizzlies did when they fired their coach. They just kind of went all in on the they have no other choice, right? They don't have a lot of players, but they're just playing like ugly, scrappy basketball. And it's hard to cover numbers against those teams. The final one I'll bring up, the one I'm most likely to actually bet is going to be the Magic against the Timberwolves. I like the Timberwolves a lot, but these two teams play the same style of basketball. It's just what I was talking about. It's ugly. It's going to be grimy. I mean, look how they limit. I think Edwards only had 7 points in their last matchup earlier in the year, right? Like these two teams are going to make it a kind of ugly game. So it's not like 7 points isn't the biggest dog on the slate, but I do like the Magic if we're doing a dog of the day kind of thing today.
Yeah, and that kind of goes with, even college basketball thinking for me when you got these super low totals. And yeah, it's when you're getting that many points, you're catching 7 almost, and that total is that low. You always want to have those points in your back pocket. That's always something you want to have there. 7 seems very high in that spot. I definitely like that look, dude. I don't even mind Memphis. I don't like Golden State at all, really. I always like fading them. So, like, you're going to give me 4 extra points. Lines open at 5 or 4.5. It's at 8 now. If I get 8.5, I'll probably bet it. I'll probably take the 8.5. Almost double digits. You want the Warriors to win by double digits on the road? I don't even think Memphis is good, but that's a lot of points, man. That's a lot of points.
Yeah. And that's getting 20 points per game out of Kuminga over these last couple of games.
His efficiency has been stupid.
I was gonna say, welcome to JJJ. Let's see how, let's see if that lasts. Let's see if we can keep it going. I don't know. For me, that's gonna be a sneaky, good game as well. I'm with you on that. I think the Grizzlies, they're a little fun right now. The only thing, they got a 5'8" point guard. They need
Jacob Gilliard.
Yes.
He's Richmond.
Yeah. Okay. We need to get this guy. I bet under one. I literally, no joke, last game, they put his props up 3 minutes before the game. I looked at he was 5'8", and I bet under 1.5 rebounds. I bet under total points, and I bet over assists, and he cashed them all. I have no clue what he does, but if you're 5'8" and you make it to the NBA, I assume all you can do is run around and pass. Maybe he can do other things. I don't know, but
he can shoot decent. Shoots decent.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just how did this guy get to the NBA is what I was trying to figure out. He obviously, I don't want to take anything away. It must be a baller. But to me, just seeing, what the fuck's going on with the Grizzlies? Do they not, was he the two-way player? Was he?
Yeah, he was one of those 10, I think they had 4 two-way guys that didn't get all that stuff. And I think Scottie Pippen came up too as well. Pippen Jr. And
he was solid. He's been in the G League these last couple of years.
Yeah, and he was a stud at Vanderbilt too. He was good at Vanderbilt. Same thing with Gilliard was good. It's just he played in A10 basketball. You're playing against teams like Dayton and those teams. And he was good, man. But he was there for a while and not really the prototypical NBA guy there at all. But we got a couple dogs for you guys. We're ready to go. Let's kick it over to you, Stu. We'll start out with your first quarter spot.
Sounds good. We're going back to Brandon Miller for first quarter points, something we wrote on the last show. He got the job done for us very easily in that one. And then we're pairing it up with something, honestly, that I'm kind of mad I didn't hop on earlier, which is Bridges' 2 first quarter rebounds. Miles Bridges is there's so few players that play the full first quarter. That's so uncommon right now, especially a star player with high usage, that this is Bridges' team right now. I don't know if he's going to be traded to the Suns. That's the common rumor that's going around right now. But whether you're traded or not, you're going to take advantage of your 35% usage with no Terry Rozier. LaMelo Ball is doubtful for this game. I don't think he suits up. But even if he does, I really don't think that affects our Bridges' 12 minutes of rebounding opportunities. He's cashed this in every game without them there. And to be honest, this Nick Richards guy, anyone that's a great permanent producer for DFS, I'm going to like. Once we gave him a bigger role, I'm not impressed at all with what's going on. Like, I don't know. Like, the guy is such a one-dimensional player, in my opinion. And we've kind of seen it with the rotation. 7 first-quarter minutes, a lot of these games. And then P.J. Washington is going to come in, more of a floor stretcher, a guy that will shoot the three for you, give you a little bit of spacing. For me, having 12 minutes of opportunities, especially when you can get the offensive rebounding because you're on a terrible shooting team, like, the opportunity is just going to be so good that, I couldn't resist. And I'm very surprised, like, 2 is a playable number. For me, I'd have this, like, minus 500, minus 600, something like that. So the fact that it's even playable for a guy that's going to play the full first quarter, get tons of rebounding opportunities. And hey, this might be the only close quarter of the game. I mean, it's going to be full effort out there. If you're not hustling in the first quarter, what are we doing? As for Brandon Miller, I went into depth about this last time. It's the same exact logic. The guy is their second highest usage player. He has a clear first quarter role where he's going to play at least 9 minutes per game. He was already consistently hitting this 4 number as a role player, right? With Terry Rozier still there. And now it's just him and Bridges. And they're going through a really ugly guard rotation of like McGowan's is playing. Ish Smith got in there. Theo Maledon might be the next guy to enter the starting rotation. Who knows? It's just a bunch of uninspiring, low usage point guards. And that's perfect because we don't want the point guard. Like most teams, it's the point guard doing all the damage to in the first quarter. Here, Miller's going to get a lot of opportunities, as is Bridges, to create their own offense. The ball's going to be in his hands plenty. And I've loved what I've seen in the first quarter in every game so far without Rozier. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm surprised they give us this 4 number right here. I think he's going to continue to play well in this kind of, secondary role. And I think that both of these combinations are a good way to avoid a blowout in the ugliest game of the slate. Like, I know no one wants to bet on this game at all. And I think that plays into why we're getting such a good number, right? And as a community, what did we burn him on it with Miller first quarter points? Like a couple grand, maybe 10 grand at the most. Like, as a community, there's no reason to sharpen up these lines when they're not getting beat very bad. If this was a points prop, like a full game one that we had the edge that we do on these, it's gone in a day, right? People catch on to that stuff so fast, but because the liquidity is very low in these markets, because no one frankly cares about this game, I think we're going to continue to get really good numbers. And I'll spoil, I have another Twitter play in the same exact game as well. I have Cody Martin under 1.5 first quarter assists. And I played that with the Heat money line. I didn't want to double up on Charlotte plays. Imagine if you tuned into a video on your Friday and it was some guy giving you 2 plays in the fucking Charlotte game. I don't want to do that to you guys. That'll be a Twitter thing later. The guy plays 6 first quarter minutes, and he's not the point guard anymore. They played him the point guard for 1 game. They were like, oh shit, this is a terrible idea. He's not a point guard. He only plays 6 minutes in the first quarter, and they have him at 1.5 assists. It's obviously juiced, but that's an awful number. Like, that's a completely awful number. It shouldn't even be available. So I played that up with the Heat money line. I don't love the Heat money line as an offer. It was just like 1 in the morning, and I just wanted to get that in before I went to bed. So I'll probably have a different pair with it for Twitter stuff. But I do think this first quarter market is a great way to get value in these really ugly games.
Yeah, you got to make sure. I know Scott just meant that's minus 350. Yeah, you got to combine it with the Miller side. I think that's like what, minus
220, something like that. Yeah.
God. So yeah, it's Tyrese Halliburton questionable Friday. If he doesn't play, I'm gonna be scared, bro. I don't think I can bet the game until I have him officially in.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so you know, those are parlay spots there for you, Scott. Make sure you throw them both in. Miles Turner now listed questionable today. Jesus Christ. Domantas Sabonis now Mathurin. Now Jalen Smith. All questionable. That's 4. I'm just reading because it just keeps shaking my computer. Yeah. That's 4 guys questionable in that rotation. Maybe is this going to be Aaron Nesmith's team again, bro? Is this dude just their best player now? I mean, it's crazy, man.
All I know is all their fans hate Buddy Hield. I just see constant Buddy Hield hate all the time. But maybe he gets out there, gets some volume. Who Isaiah Jackson blocks? I mean, it's a race to fouling out or getting 5 blocks. Whatever one happens first, he's going to get. Like, it's crazy. So I actually like all these Pacers backups. I want to see them play. But it would kind of kill the vibe in this game for sure.
Yeah, I want this game to be competitive. I want it to be a fun one. And I know Punk talked about this one earlier, talking about Trae Young. I'm going to be going the assist route just because the points they're up there. 26.5 juice to minus 120. I'm going to rather roll with the assists, hit this in 10 of his last 15 games. You want to go to just like the last 5. I usually like to use the last 5 as a benchmark there. Number 2 in the NBA in potential assists at 19.7. Luka's the only guy higher than that. That's because Luka's playing 7 more minutes than this man, and he's only got 1 less potential assist. That's because obviously those 5 games, Kyrie has been out multiple of them. 43 minutes for Luka in those games, and we're seeing 38 or 36 for Trae Young. So obviously we like that. We like having almost 20 potential assists in those spots. Hit this in 10 of the last 15, like I mentioned. And I really like this spot. I like this pace-up spot for them. They're going to be running and gunning. This team is not going to try and slow them down. And if we're going to have Trae Young in a fast-paced game off of the All-Star snub, I know that's going to be a lot of people wanting to go to points, but 10 assists is a benchmark for this dude. Like, he's going to be getting these more often than not. You look at his season average. If you want to go off that, he's averaging 11 per game. This will be carrying it because obviously Duren is pretty juiced to be getting those 10 rebounds there, but really like Trae Young in this spot. The potential numbers are there. Just can they convert them? I'm not afraid of this Suns defense. I'm not afraid of Nurkic running that pick and roll defense against Capella or Okongwu. That's just such an efficient play for them. And I only will want to go against it if I have a good defensive center, like if it's a Bam or somebody like that. I ain't scared of Nurk, bro. I ain't scared of Drew Eubanks, bro. Like, I'm not worried at all about those guys, especially when it's just that quick bounce pass or an alley-oop, pretty much all it is. Dude gets at least 3 to 4 of those a game. And so I'm going to be all over Trae Young here. Going over to the Duren side, funny, he is 10 of his last 15 in these as well. So obviously really like that number for him. No Isaiah Stewart is obviously huge for Jalen Duren. He's out, I think, multiple weeks, 1 or 2 weeks. But it's just minutes for this guy. When this guy gets the full allotment of minutes, this dude goes crazy, right? You see him against OKC, played 31 minutes, 21 rebounds. You go 36 minutes against the Wizards, 18 rebounds. Obviously, their last game against Cleveland, he got in a little bit of foul trouble. Jared Allen's a significantly tougher matchup here than what Jalen Duren's going to be messing around with tonight. I think that the biggest issue for me is how is anyone on this Clippers side going to match up with this guy? Like, you got no Zubac? What the heck are we going to do here? You're going to put Plumlee on him for Daniel Tice? Those are your 2 centers, bro. And guess what? These guys ain't playing small. Duren ain't coming off the floor because they're going out, because Plumlee ain't shooting threes. Daniel Tice might try a 3. It's probably going to be a brick, but it's not like they got stretch centers, right? What are you going to do when Duren's on offense? That's just straight offensive rebounds every single time. I like having Cade back in these games as well, get the slashing in there. I think this dude grabs 5 offensive rebounds tonight. So if we're going to get 30 minutes, obviously blowout is potential there, but come on, dude. Like, how is – you're going to tell – if I get to bet on Jalen Duren against Mason Plumlee, I'm going to do it. And this dude is just going to dominate the glass here. If Zubac was in there, maybe I'd be a little bit more worried for foul trouble purposes. I ain't worried about Duren getting in foul trouble with Mr. Plumlee running her straight to his chest and probably flailing the ball up there. So sign me up for 32 minutes of Duren. Absolute going crazy. I see like 6 dunks in this game right on him too. So I just can't believe that this is a matchup in 2024 basketball of Mason Plumlee matching up with this dominant big here in Jalen Duren. Sign me up. I'm going all in with Duren today.
When you mentioned Plumlee, those Tice minutes are going to be nice as well when he's in there. I mean, that guy's not boxing out anyone, right? So I definitely like it. The size advantage is going to be there. And to be honest, 10 rebounds, one of those marks that I don't – if he stays out of foul trouble, like this is one where I see him getting in like 26 minutes, where it's almost like if a blowout happens, like I think this is very winnable in a blowout situation as long as he's not also in foul trouble. That's your demon with Duren. It's foul trouble. So I definitely like it. But you obviously addressed that. Who's going going to actually put the pressure on him, right? With Cleveland, it makes logical sense because it's Allen and Mobley. It's the big guys in the paint. And then you got guys like Mitchell that can drive, right? On this team, you do have multiple guys that drive and attack, but on the interior, no one's putting pressure on you. You know, Plumlee's not getting isolation plays, neither is Tice. So I think the pressure is going to be off him. And you nailed Trey. I definitely love the analysis. I think I'll probably play points and assists combined tonight. Yeah. At least just I got to get some exposure to that. It's one of those games I really see like a 33-point, 16 assist kind of game. You know what I mean? Where Trey just goes off. And one underrated thing about the Hawks is they can like account for a player having a bad day so much more than any other team. Like when you logically think about it, getting 10 assists is so hard because additionally the guys around you need to perform adequately. If Capella is having a bad day, you got a Kongwu in the pick and roll as a backup. They interchange Bay, Bogdanovich, Jalen. Now they got all these young guys. They got Hunter back. Like they got 5 different guys that can come in and either get you a bucket off the pick and roll, get you a spot up 3. Like that's not common. I don't know why the Hawks aren't really good because they have a lot of the pieces to be really good. They're
a 500 team, man, dude. They just continue to win and then lose one, win, then lose one. And I mean, it's just because that defense is so fucking bad. It is so bad. But hey, when I'm getting 37 minutes to 38 minutes in a competitive matchup, the Suns team that'll want to run, KD should have absolutely no issue scoring, depending on who they're going to put DeAndre Hunter in there with. If he's going to match up with, I would assume he probably goes on Book. I don't know if they're going to put him on Durant. Durant, so just, dude, those arms are so damn long, bro. Like he just goes like this, and it's so wet, dude. So easy. So I'm gonna be on Trey. I don't like messing around with which one of these guys are going to score on Atlanta. Like I hate it, dude. It's just like all these teams, like the Packers, bro. You don't know which one's going to get it, but guess what? The ball's coming from Trae Young to that guy. So it's just like I'm betting on Jordan Love passing yards again or completions, just because. Dude, you nailed it too. You had 6 different guys you just listed off there who can shoot, who can score, who can drive. I don't know how they just don't find a way to win, dude. It's disappointing. They're a fun team to watch. I hope they make the playoffs so I can just watch them in a first round and bet some props. So, all right, we are heading on to plays number 3 and 4. DM, if you want to drop your question in there for Stu, do that. We did see it. Don't worry, we did see it there. But let's kick it over to you in I would say the ugliest offensive game of the day.
Yeah, no, I went from one ugly game to another. But like I said, this is an ugly game where I think we could actually watch and even have some fun. Because the Magic, like, oh boy, like if you like defense, if you like switchability, if you like versatility, like these guys are going to be fun for you to watch because they come up and clamp, right? They play great defense. And we look at the other side, that's what the Timberwolves have really been hanging their hat on this year as well. I mean, obviously Anthony Edwards is being Anthony Edwards, but beyond that, they've been playing some strong defense. And the total really tells the story. So for me, when I look at this game, right, one, I want to bet on Franz because I think he's going to have a good opportunity in general. I think he's a guy that the sports books, all of his numbers, I think are a little bit depleted due to the fact that he's coming back from an injury. But he's hit that 30-minute mark in 4 straight games now, right? So we have a comfortable enough sample size for me to be safe that he's over this 30-minute mark, which is what I think we realistically, want to be around to bet this prop, right? And so when you have that in consideration and when you look at how you think this game is going to play out, you look at the total. I mean, the number one thing that it screams is we're going to get a grimy, ugly game where we're going to have tons of rebounding opportunities on both sides. Like, sure, obviously Gobert is going to, be the guy in general. He's the biggest guy in this game, best rebounder, right? But when you look at what the Magic do, even though they don't necessarily have a stretch big, because they don't have the size to compensate in the paint, they're good at bringing opposing bigs out of the paint. They have a lot of good set creativity on offense, and they are able to kind of clear that paint up a little more, which kind of leads to like a hurry for the ball, right? Paolo, Franz, all these guys, the guards, Fultz is a good rebounder as well. Like this is one of those teams where it's a rebounding, by committee effort. And when you look at the hit rate, I mean, when the guy plays like 28 plus minutes, he's over this number in 80% of games this year. And that's in any kind of game, right? For me, I see this as the perfect rebounding chance for a guy like Franz when it's going to be so ugly, when there's going to be a lot of missed shots on both sides. Probably not a lot of easy transition buckets, right? Neither of these teams are looking to give that kind of offense up. And then we got a guy like Franz who, when he's back to 30 minutes, he's clearing 5 rebounds in every game easily. We're normally seeing 6, 7. That's the kind of range he's in. So for for me, this was a pretty easy prop. Like I like Franz points, I like assists, I like rebounds, just because I think they're all a little bit deflated due to the fact that he's back to his full minutes allotment now. But the rebound sticks out way more than anything else because I think this is going to be an ugly game, and I think it really plays perfectly into his kind of style of basketball right there. He's a versatile guy, play some solid defense, get involved on both sides. And when he's active, when he plays the minutes, 78% hit rate when playing 25 plus minutes this year. So when he just plays 25 minutes a game, he's over in 78% of games. I have him closer to 30. I think he gets the job done pretty easily in a very ugly matchup.
Yeah, and I did see there. I'm scrolling through because I swear I saw something on Rudy. Rudy Gobert is questionable tonight as well. That's obviously pretty big news when you have a dude standing under the paint that is 7-1. That obviously will help if he's not in the game. So just something to monitor as well. This might move up then if we start seeing a little bit more silent signs towards doubtful. We could see this number move up a little bit. So make sure you grab it now. I did know I saw something on Gobert, and I saw an ankle injury here. So, and then this is probably not a game you really want to, be not 100% in because it's going to be grimy. It's going to be physical. Like you can play the Hawks. You can play these teams that don't give a crap about being physical, but both these teams want to hit you a little bit, want to be just be all over you so you don't have to, score 150 points to win. You just got to score 110 because you ain't giving up more than that. So both these teams are fun to watch. They're going to be tough in the playoffs if they are getting like home games there in the playoffs, especially with that. When you play defense like that, they can slow that game up. There's not many teams that can do it like that. So I think it'll be a tough matchup.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad you're saying that now too, because I think that's the value some of these like new NBA podcasts have of like, I heard the exact same thing like from an NBA player where he's like, man, like you used to go down to Orlando, you have a little bit of fun, have a good time. Now, like you have a good day, you relax, you come in there, you got like 12 guys who are 6'7" that are gonna play like full effort defense for 35. Like no one wants that matchup. Nobody in the NBA, no matter what superstars you have, you don't want that matchup because they're the kind of team. I mean, it's multiple layers. They're backups. The guys like Isaacs, right, who are just now finally even playing a little bit, are like stud defensive players. Like they can really, they can really kind of scheme up a good defensive game plan for pretty much everyone out there. Goga was one of the highest rated advanced metric guys in the league, and he was out of anyone's rotation like a year ago. You know what I mean? So it's a testament to the coaching, to the ability. I think, obviously, I said I like him against the spread today, but I think in crunch time, a little bit later in the year, I think there'll be some value there as well.
Yeah, and just to mention, I absolutely hate the Orlando Magic for DFS because they suck. They suck because they all play them 24 to 28 minutes outside of obviously like your high-end guys, right? Like Franz and Paulo. But they just, like 2 years ago, I was like, how do they have this many dudes on their roster? I swear they had like 20 guys. And they just kept rotating. And then you got Isaac now healthy. They got even Joe Ingles over there playing defense for these boys. Boys, like, dude, I don't know how old that man is. He looks like he's 40, but he was just with the Bucks, and we had him to play defense and shoot threes, right? And Jalen Suggs underrated. He was really good, obviously, as Gonzaga on-ball defender, just getting better and better. And then being able to have a guy with bounce like Cole Anthony off the bench, it's a luxury that not many teams have. So definitely going to be a tough game. And I know you mentioned the Magic today at that plus number. Liking them as your dog. They're a fun bet guy. They're a fun team to bet. I don't want to bet them as favorites. I want to bet them when they're dogs. Really only when they're dogs. Because they can muddy this game up and make it into a big shit show the whole time. Just really not a fun game to watch. But if you enjoy good basketball, then you'll like that game.
Yeah, and defense is underrated. So,
unfortunately for you guys, I am not going to be talking about one of those types of games in college. I am going to a little bit more of a I don't give a shit about defense type of game, and that's going to be a quick turn here. We're heading into Iowa. I'm going back to Iowa. I'm not messing around with Ohio State today. I am going to Iowa first half team total 38.5 on FanDuel. Dude, I will take this anytime against any team when Iowa's at home and it's under 40. This team is just unbelievable at home. Like it is pretty nuts. Iowa is 17th in the country in first half, scoring at 39.8 points per game. They only average 33 on the road. 45 at home, dude. It is such a crazy advantage in this game that they're going to be at home. And also, Ohio State has been just getting absolutely demolished lately. This defense is getting torched. Let's just look at these last couple games. They were at home. You have 87 points to Illinois, right? Then you go down even further, even when they're on the road, right? Let's go to their couple of these teams that aren't even close to Iowa, which is Northwestern, shooting 52% from three at home against these guys. Illinois dropped 42% in Ohio State. And then you go down even another one. Nebraska dropped 52% from three on them and dropped 83 points. This team has not been able to guard the three-point line. Obviously, that is not good if you're going to play Iowa to do that. They shoot 36% from three at home. The pace is obviously elite. It's going to be a very big clash of pace. Ohio State's 301 in terms of adjusted tempo. Iowa is number 14. 14. This is 7 possessions difference from Ohio State to Iowa. But Iowa at home controls everything. They're very, very good at controlling the pace at home. They're going to turn this up. And once you go down, once you fall behind against these guys, you have to run with them. You have to catch up or else you're done. There's no way you're going to be able to keep up with this team if you don't. Just looking at their coach is probably gone if he loses another one or two of these games. So you need to score with these guys. Really, that's what you're asking for. Because this is probably, like I said, if they lose 2 more games, this guy's out. For real. You can't be at the Ohio State and lose 6 out of 7 Big Ten games. Awful. Awful. And you were losing them at home. You're getting torched at home. Now you're going to go to probably one of, if not, it's probably Nebraska and then Iowa in terms of home court advantage in the Big Ten. Everybody talks about betting spreads in the Big Ten because it's just such a wagon because these teams play so much better at home. Like I said, Iowa's a different beast at home, man, and it's going to be rocking there Friday night. What else are you going to be doing in Iowa in February, man? It is shitty outside here. Gave me a little snow in Wisconsin this morning. What do you think it's like in Iowa? Come on. There ain't much else to do. It's going to be crowded. These boys are going to be shooting the 3 ball. I always like to take the first half because the second half they actually, I don't want to say try to compete a little bit better defensively. First half, it's run and gun, baby. We're putting up points. And if you want to, like I said, look at all of these dudes, they got 4 double-digit scores. All of those top 3 scorers shoot 33% or better from 3. All of them over 35% at home, though. Like I said, home road, man, in Big Ten country, it's tough to deal with. So I'm going to be on Iowa first half team total. 38.5 at almost plus money is absolutely absurd for this Iowa team who just dominates at home.
I like it. I bet on your Iowa guys a lot. I mean, they shoot threes. They've played a fast pace. That's really all I need right here. And I did think it was funny too what you said about like the coming out and actually trying a little in the second half. I feel like that's got to be their coach just must lay into these dudes at halftime every day. That's got to be it, right? Of like, what are we doing here? Open shot. Like, I'm sure that's finally you're like, okay, let's, not get yelled at in the second half. Let's do something out here. But hey, if the first half is the wave we've been riding, then let's keep riding it.
Yeah, I might butcher this stat, but I did read somewhere that I can't remember the guy's last name. Ohio State's coach over the last 2 years in January and February is 4-16, I think it was, against the spread. Like, this dude sucks. He's really good non-conference. They absolutely nuke people in non-conference and good teams. They beat Alabama. This team beat Alabama 92-81. This team beat Santa Clara by 30, and I love that team. Like, that team is very good. When it comes to Big Ten, the dude can't win in the Big Ten, and he's been really struggling in this January, February time. I saw it on Twitter. I'll have to give props to whoever I saw that from. I saw it I think late last night before I went to bed. It was like 4-16 the last 2 years. ATS Ohio State is, and it's like they're losing to the spread by like 6, so they're getting smoked. Yeah. And obviously that makes me lean a little bit more towards the Iowa side, but I don't trust Iowa's defense. I never have. I never will. But that offense is elite, man, especially at home. I just can't. I'd rather just stick on that than try to go somewhere else.
Yeah, you nailed it too. What else are we doing in Iowa, baby? It's all about the game today. A little snow, ugly February. Yeah, definitely. Not in the district over here. We're still at 40 degrees, 45. A little sun over here, not too bad.
Yeah, it's 36 here, but it did snow this morning, like a light little sprinkle, enough where I didn't like you didn't really notice it, but it's it's good. So Stu, let's get a quick recap here. Get these people on their way. You got 27 of you guys in here. Hit that like button. I'll have to go check out what we're at for likes. We got to be up at 20, hopefully, before the end of the show. Stu, I'll kick it over to you to start us off.
Sounds good. We got a little first quarter action. Let's avoid those blowouts. Miles Bridges, 2 first quarter rebounds. Brandon Miller, 4 first quarter points, -120 over on DraftKings. Then we're sticking traditional markets, baby. We got Friends, Wagner over 4.5 rebounds, -120 over on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Beautiful. I'll be rolling Iowa first half team total 38.5 FanDuel at -104. Crazy line here. I can't believe they're almost giving me plus money there. And then Trae Young 10 assists, Jalen Duren 10 rebounds at -114 on FanDuel as well. Stu, do you have a long shot today? Are you rolling with anything on the slate here that's catching your eye? I know there's a lot of injury news that probably will help long shots here, especially in that Indiana game if all those dudes miss. But is there a spot that you're looking at all?
Yeah, I'm trying to price shop it real quick. Let's see. Okay, I'm doing Denny Avdia 10 rebounds at +600. I was hoping double-double I'd get a great price on. I thought I'd be a little sneaky there because he has some assist upside, but it's only 650, 700, 600 across the board. So honestly, I'd rather just avoid it and just go to the rebounds right here. I think there's going to be a lot of long rebounds in that game, right? I mean, when we look at this new style of play from the Heat, we got Rozier, we got Hero shooting a lot more threes than he was before. There's a lot more outside shooting going on. Gafford is going to be chasing around, Bam, and then no Bagley. He could be questionable. No Bagley. That's like the whole hustle effort part of that second unit right there. If he goes away, then there's going to be rebounding chances galore. So for me, the upside with Denny for rebounding is super high. Great hustle player. I just really thought I'd get a fantastic price on double-double. Like I was thinking 15-1, 16-1. I guess I'm insane because it's 6-1 everywhere. So for me, I'm just going to stick with the rebounds then if I'm getting the same price on both, let's not get crazy. And I'll do 10 rebounds. I think he's got a chance. Let me see what 8 is if that's a little safer.
What's the 10 rebound odds?
It's +660 is the best price right now for 10 rebounds.
All right. Plus 660.
But you kind of nailed it. There'll be more stuff like later in the day as we get through the slate because that's what most of my value plays come off of is like, oh, we have a backup in the starting lineup. We got something new. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Holy shit. I just checked up on my plays here on the show on FanDuel, and Trae Young went from 220 for 10 assists to 290. That play is down to -130 just during the show. So hopefully all you guys have been hitting that one, and that's why it's moving. Hopefully if you don't, just see that these numbers will move, guys. Hopefully it's because you guys are throwing those in your bets and making some money with us. I really want to – oh, my God, this is huge. This might be big for me. I just found a long shot here that I might be playing. Let's go this. I'm gonna play a college basketball prop long shot on the show here. Jesus Christ. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with the rebounds prop. And I'm going to probably one of the best bigs in the country that no one talks about. It's because we just talked about how you didn't know who Jacob Gilyard was in college. You know why? Because he's playing against teams like Dayton. And Dayton's going to be where I'm going for this prop. They're playing tonight against St. Bonaventure at home. Obviously, it's a pretty big game. I'm going to Deron Holmes. Probably one of the best big men in the country. This dude is an absolute stud. He's their best player by a lot. This is like their dude, right? But no one in this conference can match up with this guy at all. This dude's 6'10", 235, just an absolute unit. Dude grabbed 12 rebounds last game in a game where they slowed down George Washington. If we do get that type of gritty game, I think that this is a huge spot for him to grab the rebounds. I would even play his points. If they gave me like alternate PRA, maybe I would probably hammer that because seeing his point prop at 20.5 is tough for me to bet in a game that's going to be this slow. But the dude averages 19 a game. He grabs 8 rebounds a game. But if it's going to be mucky, I think that we're going to get 30 minutes out of this guy. I mean, they just beat George Washington by 22 when he played 31 minutes. Went for a hell of a line. 25, 12, 4 assists, 2 blocks in 31 minutes in that one. Going in this game should be a lot more competitive than that one. St. Bonaventure is obviously a pretty good team, 7-point spread. But Dayton at home, absolute wagon. I wanted to bet their spread, but in these conference games, it's tough for me to bet 8 points. If you can get Deron Holmes, bet him. If you can find him on Prize Picks at PRA, this boy is going to go crazy. This dude is a stud. Watch some of those Dayton games. This guy just dominates everyone. No one can match up with him. They played LSU earlier this year, and he just put on an absolute clinic in that one. He even went for 16-5 or 16-5 on Houston. That was the game I was talking about, not the LSU. He got ran out the gym by LSU because all they wanted to do was run. But he even played up against Joel Soriano, another pretty big guy in the Big East, one of their best big guys, and he went for 21-5 on that dude. So PRA, great spot if you can find it. It's not on FanDuel. But long shot here, definitely Deron Holmes, 12 rebounds. I like that at plus 460.
Yeah, no, I think this might be a first. Definitely in the long shot section, a college basketball prop. I mean, for me, you already know I'm going to tell you, just because these markets are so bad. Like, I really believe if you have any knowledge, like if PPS could bet this stuff more, I'm sure if you could get more money on it and stuff, I'm sure you would be like the book's biggest enemy, right? Because I follow like 2 guys that have like 1,000 followers that beat like college basketball props at like 65%. They're just doing it on like Prize Picks and betting like $10 a slip. So they're not making, much money. It's mostly like young people that don't know it. So I hope this market keeps growing like it does in college football, because it's really the same way over there. I'm pulling it up right now on Prize Picks as well to see. It's
let me know what they give you on those. I don't play on Prize Picks much, but
it's no rebound separately though. But
Denny 10, Holmes 12, 36-37. Oh, Larry, thank you very much, my friend. PRA at 31.5 on DK. I do not hate that line at all. But well. I don't want to bet on assists much. I don't think that he's going to be going for 4 assists much. I think it's going to be points, rebounds exclusively. I'm looking at
20.5. That's on Prize Picks as well.
What is
5 points and rebounds only.
Yeah, I would rather just toss the assists, bro.
Gotcha.
I would, because I don't think there's a reason for him to pass out. I don't think there's anyone here that's even going to be remotely close to this dude. Yes, if they double, he's probably getting fouled, man. He's averaging 19 and 8.5 at home this year. Like, I don't see anyone on this team matching up well with him. I know Bonnies are good. I get it. But, dude, when your leading rebounder is a guard that's 6'4", come on now. This boy is about to get worked. About to get worked. Let me look right here. They're gonna They'll probably just have this might actually work better because their top guy. I knew they had a big that was decent, but Venny, he's 6'10" for Bonnies. Dude just is gonna have. He's been in foul trouble in a few of these games too, and I just doesn't shoot threes. He's gonna be standing underneath the hoop.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to put some defensive rebound, baby. I'm going to have to go look at my Camby books and see if they're going to offer me some of these nice prices, because I need some of these nice prices I'm seeing.
Yeah. No, if you're looking at college basketball prop betting, I know not everyone has it, obviously. So if you don't, sorry about that. It's in a couple states. And then if you're not in one of those states, you can either go to Prize Picks or you can go to Prop Builder, which is Bovada or Bet Online. And they actually have better offerings than, frankly, FanDuel does sometimes as well in terms of props. The question is, their long shot odds always suck. So, like, a Holmes 12 rebounds is probably like 210 over there or something like that. But I'll check it out after the game. But I definitely am going to tell you on these, especially 1 point better on Prize Picks with the points and rebounds as well. Definitely going to get that locked and loaded today.
Yes, sir. Where are you seeing the 29.5? Is that DK?
Yeah, but he said the other one was DK, so I'd assume it's DraftKings.
Okay. All right, I'm going to play it. I'm officially playing it. I just sent it out. I'm going to play the 29.5 points rebounds. I'm going to play the 10 rebounds at plus 186 on FanDuel and then plus 480 for those extra 2. So official. It's already locked in. It's time to go, baby. I'm excited.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We don't get that kind of improvisation very often on the show. I'm riding with you. You already know it. I love a good long shot, especially in something I don't know. Then I can just watch the money hit my account with some random center at Dayton balling out. Hell yeah. I'm cool with that.
Bro, you don't watch the full game, but like if you can look up some like Deron Holmes highlights, this dude is just a bucket, bro. Just you can't get in front of him. The dude's 6'11", just dunking on people, man. And he's just like he's not like one of those guys like I there's a lot of those, Eastern Washington, Toledo's, those teams that I really like, where they're just skinny, 6'10".
Yeah.
This boy is like he would murder them, dude. Just throw one elbow, those flies fly, and just dunks on him. It's crazy.
I like it. That's good. That's the kind of energy those conferences need. You just need a guy dunking on everyone.
Yes, sir. All right, so you got anything for the people here before we head out?
Yeah, I mean, we did talk a lot at the end. If you're looking for a quick recap, just go back like 3 to 5 minutes. It should be right there. But a lot of good action. Hopefully some, NBA next week, some football stuff next week. Definitely tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. past the prop. Hopefully some good guests as well. Don't want to spoil anything, but I think we're gonna have some very good shows next week. So hopefully you guys, enjoy. Leave a like while you're here. I really like today's plays, so I'm super fired up. I think we got a good one.
Yes, sir. Let's hopefully hit some long shots. I know not every game in college basketball that I like to bet on, those obscure games have props. So this is nice to have a bigger game with some props there. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you could hit that like button, we'd really appreciate it. Share it too if you guys want. We really appreciate that. We're trying to grow the show here. You guys have been showing up. We appreciate all of the support, and we'll be back on Monday coming at you guys with hopefully a good recap. Hopefully we're hitting some of these long shots tonight. Joseph, I'll just pull it up right here. Yeah. If you want to go back there, you can. These I'll just go through them here, and you'll be able to see all of them. But yeah, we should be good to roll. Have all of the plays out for today. College basketball, NBA. We'll be back on Monday with another round of some basketball coming at you guys. So thank you guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you on Monday.